Hello and welcome to the Build with Bear Workshop. My name is Pat Baer. I'm here to build a model kit and to hang out with you. Of course, I'm throwing the Bear Cave, the Lego, the Scythe, the Moat into the chat. If you're currently a subscriber, you can throw those back at me. This is the intro portion of the stream where we just kind of hang out a little bit. We wait. We hope a few more folks decide to join us before we get really started with the stream. But yeah, this is just the hang zone. This is the hang sesh. This is me killing a little time. I go live about 3 minutes before I want to start the stream. Do I make no, I'm good. About 3 minutes before I want to start the stream, I go live. And then I wait about 3 minutes into when I want to start, just to give people time to kind of come in and stroll in. Now, have people caught on to that? Do some people wait a little while before they join the stream that know Jam is here? Hey, Jam, happy to have you here. That no, Pat doesn't actually start at 9. Pat starts building at like 9:10. So we'll just I'm going to wait. Yeah, so people catch on to that. Lashbrook is here. Hell yeah, Lashbrook, happy to have you here. Yeah, so some people take their sweet time to come in. Aristophan is here. Hell yeah, Aristophan. Excellent, excellent. Um, I posted a video today of a mailbag video. I received a cool looking the GM. I forget the name of that thing. Oh, the GM Guard. It's a high grade. That is for my wish list. Thank you, Gus, out there. I don't know who you are. I've got two more things left after the Zaku 2 that are from my wish list, and then a bunch of stuff for me to build. And then, by the end of the month, I will theoretically have some model kits that come in, including two kits that were purchased with gift cards bought by subscribers. So they're part of the wish list in that regard. They're about the same thing. So those will be coming the end of September, beginning of October. Somebody reached out and asked Pat, are you going to be carving pumpkins even though you don't, you're not at home, you're with your folks? And the answer is yeah. I'm going to figure out how to get some pumpkins in here. Probably just one big pumpkin, but I'm going to carve the hell out of that big pumpkin because that is a fun thing that I can do. So I'll be doing that. Two points of announcement. This Sunday, which is the 13th at 6:45 p.m. Eastern Time, at twitch.tv/PAX2 will be Pat Bear's Anime Club as part of PAX Online. It is myself, Corey Dickinson, and Beej Derry from Loading Ready Run. They're both from Loading Ready Run. And we're talking about anime for an hour. Now, you can watch it at twitch.tv/PAX2, or you can watch it here hosted. And I will be paying attention to chat while hosting it here in twitch.tv/PatBear. So if you'd like to chat with me while I watch it and kind of watch along with y'all, you're more than welcome to do that. I'll be giving some information. I'll be posting the name of the anime we're talking about, so you can copy and paste the name. And then it'll go up on my YouTube the next day. Wednesday, but coming up even sooner. We got tonight's stream. Wednesday's stream is coming up. It's right around the corner. On Wednesday, our bonus stream originally was going to be a Hearthstone stream. We're going to postpone that Hearthstone stream, and we are going to do our closing time stream, which is playing Twitch Sings, because they announced that Twitch Sings will be going offline on January 1st. So monthly, I will be doing a check. So I will be doing a check-in, and we'll be doing a monthly one. This is closing time. I'm going to be picking names that, Final Countdown, and I don't know. I'll think of other names that kind of, fit with the theme of, this thing is ending. The end is the beginning is the end. I don't know. We'll come up with some other silly names for it as we go that are all songs. Harold says, first of all, hi, Harold. Most of the PAX panels I want to watch are either too late for me to watch or on Sunday during football. Well, I'm sorry to hear that. There's going to be a fun panel that I'm part of, which will be the following Monday, the 14th. I'm part of a panel there. That starts at 11:15 p.m. Eastern on a Monday night. That's late. That'll be after our stream. I'm just going to host that so people can watch that. And then, the basic idea is that, my panel will be on my stream on Monday. Or my YouTube, I should say, that Monday. So if you can't watch it live, if you're watching football, Sunday Night Football, and you can't come and check out the stream, well, it'll be there on Monday, and you can watch it then. So hopefully that works out for y'all. It's the end of the world as we know it, and I feel fine. Yes, Fan. That might be too many words to fit on my promo image, but I might just do, yeah. The end is the beginning of the end. It probably also is too many words to fit. Closing time's good. Final countdown's good. This is the end. There you go. This is the end. Perfect. Um, goodbye, 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 goodbye. That's also we can do that. Um, so long, farewell. Yeah. Look, I can come up with a bunch of ones. Yeah, I'm sure I can think of a few more songs that are saying goodbye or the end of it or closing down or whatever. Um, but yeah, we're gonna do that. September, October, November, and December. Now, am I going to do a New Year's Eve stream and then also do Twitch things and because it closes on the first? I actually don't know. I haven't really thought about it. I might. I don't look. I don't know what's December. That's December. It's September now. I know it will. Time will fly, but like, I'm not thinking about December right now. Also, it's a Thursday, so I probably would just do my normal build stream till 11 and then do something else after that because I think that would be fun. Way to close out the year. But I don't know. I'm going to hit, this is a cool Zaku. I'm going to retweet my tweet so that maybe people will come and check shit out. December is 18 years away. It's 18 years away, Aristophan, and also tomorrow because what is even time right now? Time is meaningless at this moment. So we worked on one leg. This is a real grade of the Johnny Ryden Zaku 2. If you've never seen a real grade before, there aren't so many of them, and we've built a few. The real grade is the 144 scale, which is also the high grades that we normally build in the stream, whereas the master grades are the 100 scale, so they're bigger. The 144 scale is small, but because it's a real grade, it's like the master grade of high grades. It is detail oriented. There are very small pieces. We're going to be doing later here. I got this little started here because I didn't understand it, so I wanted to figure it out. This spring, we're going to have a little plastic piece on there that is going to be on the back of this kit that is going to represent or the side of the kit, I should say, the hoses that would normally be on there. And it's a lot of intricate little pieces. That's kind of how we're doing things. I hope you're excited about this stream. We're going to hang out. We're going to have some fun. I'm going to say this. I did not say the name on Twitter, but I will say the name on Twitch. I don't actually legitimately think that anyone is ever going to come into the stream and accuse me of stealing from Zalay, popular Hearthstone streamer and Hearthstone world, battler, like he's esports person, Zalay. Zalay recently moved around houses, and I don't know how he got it. It's just showing up in shots because I don't actually watch a lot of his streams, but I do watch a lot of his YouTube videos because I like his YouTube videos on Hearthstone. Recently, there's a gong in the background, and it is the same gong that I've had on this stream since my roommate moved out a few months ago. I can tell you that I've had it on stream as part of my channel points for a while. I am not copying Zalay, but it is weird because it pretty much looks like identical to the one I have. And Jam just redeemed the gong. So if you didn't know what I was referring here, this is a decorative gong that was purchased by my roommate for a comedy bit. He left in the apartment when he moved out. I asked him about it. He said, I don't want it. I forgot. I didn't throw it away. So I kept it because it's a gong. You may remember that at Christmas time, my folks got me a soundboard, and I decided to make that channel points. So this was the next step after the soundboard, was to incorporate a gong that you can redeem channel points, and I will hit a gong. That's just what happens around here. So I am, like I said, expecting someone to randomly come into a stream at one point and be like, did you steal that from Zalay? The answer to which, of course, is no, I did not. It is a weird coincidence that he both have it. I have not seen him use it. He does have a bell He has a like a bellhop bell, like job. He does have a bell that he dings sometimes when like either he calls something or someone makes a very smart play. That is one of the things he has. All right, so we're going to take this here, and we are going to add 6 of these, which is going to be F211. So basically, hey, Lord Cratchington, welcome, welcome. Happy to have you here. So we're going to put all of these on this. Basically, it's going to go like that, and then all of them are going to slide in there. And they do it. You could kind of, like, if you wanted to, try to figure out how to do that with it still connected. But I think we'll just... And they're like, hey, remove without letting the other parts fall. And I'm like, yeah, I get that. So we're just going to snap these off here. I believe there are extras. They literally say in this, which I appreciate, the remaining 4 pieces are extra. So they're basically like, hey, we think you might lose these, which is fair. That's a fair assumption because they are very tiny. These are hopefully the tiniest things that we will be dealing with on this kit because they are small and I am slightly worried about them. Because also they're being shoved on a spring. So we're going to do that. We have to put 6 on here and then we got to put 1 more. So we're doing 7 and then we have another one that goes on and that's the 8th one. So we are going to put 8 on these by the end of it, I believe. Or, yeah, 6, 7, and then 8, yeah. Good, just put on there. So we're just sliding these on. And then the next instruction will be that when we attach the top, we're going to insert as far as possible while extending the spring. So we're going to extend the spring up as we put the top part on there. And then we will attach the... to the back of it. So yeah, so we're just kind of going slow with this because obviously this is a spring and I don't want to have them go all over the place because then I have to go find them. And as I said, there are extras, which is great. We will be doing this on the other leg as well and then also around the, I assume around the mouth there'll be some. There are only 2 springs, though, so that'll just be plastic. Those go on plastic. This is a spring. And then we have 1 more to put on as well from 10, right? F11. Those are F11, so we get an F12. Yeah, just 1 here. And I'm not even using the snippers on these. I'm just using my fingers. They don't leave any marks on there, so that'll be good. And even if they did, that's fine if there's a little excess. Okay, so... we want to insert as far as possible while extending the springs. So this could be a little tough here. We're going to be putting this part on here, lining it up right, and then we are going to extend the spring and press down. Extend the spring and press down. All right. That didn't work. Okay. So now we will extend the spring and press down. Great. That should be okay, because my hope is that as we go and attach this part, that this part doesn't just like pop off as we go to do it. So hopefully we did it well enough, but that would definitely be the point of failure if there is one. And then we'll attach it here, and we will attach that. There. All right, that looks pretty great. And then you can see there's some movement there because of the spring as the leg moves. The spring, the little pieces move. All right, that's not bad. Oops, the top thing came off here. That is one of the gimmicks of this, the way this is connected. But it's pretty neat. Okay, and that is our leg. That's our first leg. We started, we did the whale on Saturday, and then we started this leg. So we've got 1 leg done, and now we will continue by going to the left leg because we've now finished the right leg here. All right, so let's get this going here. And we'll basically be doing the same thing we did before with minor changes. So, yeah. So, let's see. We had that with that. Oh, if you didn't see on my Twitter, I did ran the grill today. Got the charcoal chimney out and working. My dad bought this charcoal chimney a couple years ago. Never used it till I came down here, so that has been nice. Like teaching him about how it works because I don't know. He got it at like a Home Depot or something. I think it was on sale, but he was like, "Oh, how do the coals heat up?" and what is it? What? Why would you do this and all that? And I'm always like, Dad, the beauty of this is you can get regular old charcoal, and you don't need to use lighter fluid because you don't have to, do that and then hope that everything works out. You just heat up the coals, and then everything works, and it works out great. So it was nice to kind of show him that. Like, I'm teaching my dad something that, while it is a piece of tech, it's not the usual thing I'm showing him, which is just a piece of technology that he has questions about, and me explaining how that piece of technology works. Instead, it's me showing him a piece of food gear. We made a couple burgers up. They were nice sirloin burgers. There was so little fat on these burgers. They were really great. They really held their shape. They were seasoned. It was really, really tasty burgers. We did on the grill in the backyard. That was excellent. Did one hot dog because my dad likes hot dogs and likes grilled hot dogs a lot. So we did that. And my mom made potato salad for herself and macaroni tuna salad for me and my dad, which is just a good little cool thing. You get the hot burgers, you get the cool salad. It was really relaxed and fun, and I miss grilling. I used to do it a lot. For Labor Day was a big weekend for that. This was before I started going to Seattle for PAX. Labor Day weekend was a big day of doing grilling in the New York comedy community. We had a thing called the Company Picnic. The company was a fake thing that we made up that was basically just like an excuse to get people together for sometimes drinking things and other times barbecue and grilling things. Well, of course, there was drinking as well. It was a really fun time, and I missed that time. I met a lot of people, and it was also a time to get together with people that I wasn't really seeing that much, and it was always really fun. And also, that's where I trial by fire, ha ha ha, not a joke. That was just it's the truth. It was where I learned a lot about grilling and became not my words, but words I took to heart and loved. And of course, you know me. I was called the Grill Master, and I loved that. Love that very much. Would correct people if they said, "Oh, Pat barbecues," because I don't barbecue. I grill. Those are different things. I am not a barbecue man. I am a grill man. Of course, no disrespect to folks that barbecue. I love that. I just don't do it. It's not in my wheelhouse. So it's not my style. I would love to get into barbecuing, and smoking and all the other stuff, but I don't do it. But I do throw some charcoal on there and grill up a storm. But yeah, so that was nice to do that. My parents and I were talking, and we were like, "How long has it been since we spent Labor Day together?" And I was like, probably right before I moved to New York. So that would be 2001 was the last time that we spent Labor Day together because there was no reason for her to be home at that time. So yeah, it was after I moved to New York that I did that. So that was a weird thing to be able to see them, and yeah, just kind of like, oh yeah, we're just hanging out, having a good time. Let's see. But getting to get a chance to work in the kitchen or outside on the grill is always nice. I've been trying to be able to do a little more of that here and there. Just feel useful. One of the things of the move that has happened is I have felt far less useful because I feel like I am not contributing anything. I am still doing my streams, obviously doing this right now, and I love my streams. And my streams are, I think, at the very least, I know that a couple of y'all really relax and dig it. Eric Fuhr just subscribed for 1 month at Tier 1. Thank you so much, Eric. I appreciate that so much. Let's throw the Bear Cave Lego Scythe emote in the chat. And thank Eric for that. I appreciate that. Let me get my emotes in the chat. Hi, Eric. Happy to have you here. Thank you so much for being a subscriber. It means a lot. I hope you're doing well, my friend. Um, yeah, yeah. Eric pumps in with the subscription. Just as I said, I'm feeling odd. Like the streams are the thing that I feel good about. Being part of PAX, even though I'm only hosting one panel and on one other panel, which is the least amount I've done at PAX in a while. Like I don't know. It is that is an odd feeling. I felt kind of weird about it. I was joking a little bit about that last night in saying that 2 years ago, like during my panel, someone fell off the stage, and then the same night, two other people fell off another stage. This was friend Ben before I knew him, and so it's like, oh, weird. That's awful, but it's still really fun. Still a strange thing. I'm happy to do Pepper's Anime Club as part of PAX. I think that's really neat. Um, as I continue to do what I've always done at PAX somehow, which is push the bounds of what a PAX panel can be and should be and is. That was never my goal. As you may remember, my very first panel there was 404ing It, which was a celebration of the internet. It was an adaptation of the show that I had at UCB. And at first, I tried to make a lot of it about video games. I really tried to insert video game stuff in it. I would do segments about video game things or whatever, and really try to blend them together. And then I realized I don't need to do that. And eventually I did end up with a panel that was about video games, but it was an improv exercise. It was basically a short form game stretched out to an hour about video games, improvised post-mortem. I've done a panel where we built Lego, which was, like Pat Bear's Lego Challenge. Pretty much this. And now, obviously video game wrestling, which was really more about wrestling than it was about video games. Video games were the least important part and the least active part, as we said. We certainly had our time with it, but we always tried to make it more of a show, presentation. And now Pat Bear's Anime Club, which is just the furthest away. And obviously, there are anime fighters. There are anime video games. Anime is influenced on video games and the culture. And also, the real thing is that just like people saw the word anime in the booklet or on the guidebook and were like, there's an anime panel at PAX? I'll go to that. We had a great turnout for our first panel because, I think people were just like, oh, neat. I don't know who that is. I don't even know the guests. Maybe they knew the guests. I'm sure I had some friends from Loading Ready Run. Their Discord has a anime channel, and it was nice to got some positive response to the last one. And plugging this one, I got a bunch of people excited to see it because they liked the guests that I booked who are from Loading Ready Run, the collective. But it's also if I get people from places that people like talking about anime, I think that we'll still get a turnout, and I think it could be really fun. But honestly, it's just me continuing to push the idea of entertainment. Really, really this is a variety and entertainment and all that. The fact that I haven't done a full night and all that is just comes down to time, the time and energy to do that. I somewhat built a variety show. We did it the 1 year, and I was certainly a person that put a lot of effort into the main stage show that we ended up doing between a few companies. I saw the news of that Dragon Quest anime coming out in a few weeks. Yes, there is a Dragon Quest anime, which feels like weird time for that. It just feels like a weird year. But I will say, there have been a lot of anime last year, particularly, and the beginning of this year, that are based on video games, although most of them are based on mobile games. And even one of them wasn't too bad. Sachibato, President's Time for Battle wasn't that bad. That was based on a strategy game, a mobile strategy game. That was pretty fun. But yeah, I mean, in Sakura Wars, they did a new anime of that was based on it was based on the anime that was from a long time ago that was based on the video games. So that made a return. I did not watch that because I hadn't watched the original, so I did not watch the remake of it. But I know some people that liked it, so I hope they enjoyed. Um, yeah, the real thing is, it's just like a lot of people watch anime who go to conventions, and also like not everyone that goes to PAX like plays every game. Some of them play some games. Some of them are just with people, and the idea of like a panel they might like is appealing to them. Something else they want, or they're just like, man, they're gonna yell about like the premise. I have a few people that say like, I just want to know what you really like because you're probably gonna talk about the shows you really think I should see. Um, we joked about it like like the at the last show, the one I did in at PAX East, kind of jokingly, people were like, they're talking about like, oh well, there's anime for everything. If you like this, there's an anime. If you like this, there's an anime. And there were a couple people that were like, so one person after asked me like, hey, you said there's an anime about sumo wrestling? What anime is that? And it was just like, oh well, it's this thing. Like you can check it out. And they're like, oh thanks, that seems cool. And it's like, hell yeah, there's your anime. Like great. I tweeted today about 3 anime that are workplace. They're sitcoms. They're workplace situation comedies that people might be interested in. One of them is called Working with 2 exclamation points. There's at least 3 seasons on Crunchyroll. I don't know if there's more seasons than that, but that's there's a family style restaurant and a bunch of these really wacky, odd characters work there together. Some of whom are very broad, but then get some specificity over time. Some of which never really get out of the kind of broad strokes that they're given. But that is a cool little show. Of course, I have talked about this before. I am somewhat of a broken record about this particular program, but I just love so much New Game, and the sequel, New Game with 2 exclamation points. First one's 1 exclamation point. It's not called New Game Plus. It should be because it is a show about a bunch of young ladies and some not so young ladies that work at a video game studio, an independent video game studio, or a small studio. Um, and that is a love letter to video games and creativity, and it's such great friendship. There's so much fucking friendship in that show that is fantastic, and also it's very very gay, and that rules. It's just a great show. And then what other one did I talk? I actually don't remember. Oh, Skull Face Bookseller Honda-san, which is a short subject or like short episodes, half-length episodes. It is about a guy who works at a bookstore that sells manga, that focuses on manga in Japan. It is based on a true events that happened. So it is basically this guy was working at the store as he was trying to break into the industry, and he made a manga while he like in his free time, or like an online digital comic in his free time while he was working, and he replaced himself with like a pseudonym, and he was the Skull, and then there were different other characters that he didn't say their names. He just gave them odd references to them, and that ended up becoming popular. And then they made the anime, and in the anime, it's revealed that he's also writing his manga during that. So the character is writing the manga for the anime because in the manga, the manga got popular while he was still a bookseller. So it is it's neat. That is a neat series. It is a love letter to the manga and loving it and working in it and the sellers. It's very honest in its thing. It is a window into that, but also a window into like, Americans and Europeans that have gotten into manga and come to the store for particular types and who likes what and all that, which was really fun. Just like, or like a dad that comes in because his daughter wants a bunch of manga and he's like, and the stuff that she wants, Honda is embarrassed because he's like, oh, this guy doesn't know what his daughter is into. Am I gonna be the one to tell him? It is pretty neat. I think it is a very cool show. So those are three anime that are about. Sorry, I'm trying to figure out where this goes because I can't remember. That are about labor and working. There are plenty other ones now. Like someone was just like, "What about the devil is a part timer?" And I was like, "Yes, the core conceit of the devil is a part timer is that the devil is trapped on Earth trying to refill his powers, and he ends up getting a job at a McDonald's knockoff. And there's shenanigans. But is it really about that, or is it about him figuring out like powers and the people that are there, the conspiracies against him, and all that? And then also he relates to having that job. So it's like I don't know if that's the same thing. Um, Uh, it's not the same as the show I couldn't remember the name of and couldn't figure out how to Google it right, which is the anime about what happens to heroes after the Demon King is defeated. And they end up getting one of them gets a job at a appliance store and then ends up working with the daughter of the Demon Lord. And shenanigans ensue. Uh, that show's pretty okay. But that one is at least more about working than I think the Devil's Part Timer, which is kind of fine. But I was like, meh, I don't feel like telling people about that because it is like, I don't know if it really is about working. Like, is Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid a workplace situation comedy because Toru is a maid? I don't think so. I wouldn't call that the workplace sitcom, like a sitcom, like a working thing. I think it's funny, but I don't think it's a sitcom. It's funny in times. So I don't know. How's everybody doing tonight here on the old Twitch, hanging out in chat? Did anybody do anything fun for Labor Day? Did some people work? Are some people at work right now and have me on their phone or are on another monitor while they're doing other stuff? Did some people have the day off and they did absolutely nothing, or they got a big nap in? They got a real quality nap going. Let me know if y'all did anything cool or not cool you want to tell me about. I love to hear it. I'm always happy to hear from y'all. You don't have to wait for my prompts. Sometimes you can just pop into chat with the thing you've been thinking about, because that's always nice to see as well. But yeah, did anybody do anything fun for the holiday? Or anything that was not holiday related, it was just a thing you did on a Monday. Or yesterday, did you do anything yesterday that you're like, oh, Pat, can't wait to talk to you about this? Harold says, just a chill day. Harold, that sounds great. I'm happy you had a chill day. Sometimes that's all you need. It's a really chill day. We're putting some rocket boosters here on. Then we gotta get the things we need to put on those rockets. So we'll do those too. Bobby says, I slept in and had a lazy day. Much better than working. Hell yeah, it is. That's rad. Lashbrook says, it's always my day off, so I just sat around the house and started rewatching Steven Universe since I never finished. Heck yeah. Steven Universe is rad. It is an odd thing because sometimes shows grow and change because they realize they can, and sometimes shows like that show grow and change because they were able to, like, they were finally starting to be able to do the actual stuff they wanted to do. To me, that's the difference between like Adventure Time and Steven Universe. Adventure Time suddenly realized they could do more with what they'd been doing. Whereas Steven Universe was like, oh, they're letting us do the shit we've been wanting to do since day one. Now we can start doing the stuff we really want to do in this thing because now it makes a bunch of money. Whereas I think Adventure Time was just like, yeah, I guess we could tell, like, we have, like, we joke about, like, the apocalypse is why this show happened. I guess we could, like, get into that. I guess we could. we could like figure some of this lore that we kind of like. Hey, maybe the Ice King is like isn't just a sad bad villain. Maybe like he's a tragic villain. We could just do that. Whereas Steven Universe is like, we can start making this as gay as we wish we could have made it a while ago. Um, let's see. Hell yeah, Julie made biscuits and gravy for the first time this year. Hell yeah, that's awesome. Lord Crashington says, got soaked at work with all the rain we got today. Sorry to hear that, Lord Crashington. Um, and the other night, I watched the Eurovision movie on Netflix, and I loved it. I've heard very good things, Bobby. I have not seen it because I don't have Netflix right now, but I've heard very good things about that show. Yeah, or about that movie. Very good things. I also got a bunch of Whataburger breakfast Lashbrook items delivered. First time I had it, I'd say almost a year. All right, nice. Yeah, I like getting delivery now and again because it's just like, yeah, let's just do this thing. I feel the need to rewatch Venture Brothers with the news that it's canceled, says Lord Crashington. Yes, if you have not heard, the seminal work, Venture Brothers, has not been renewed. Apparently, they found out a couple months ago as they were writing what would have been the next season. And that is certainly a shame. I was definitely sorry to hear that. I will admit, I am probably like a season behind, or at least maybe 2 seasons behind of the show. I kind of fell off of it, always expecting to come back to it because that is kind of the beauty of that show. It's just like that is a show that is very fun to marathon, and I'm sure I would have marathoned it at a certain point, so I will eventually catch up on it. If you're a Eurovision fan, it's worth watching. On top of being funny, it's also kind of a tearjerker. Ooh, that's excellent here. I am a Eurovision fan. I'm a big fan of Eurovision. It's a fun time. I'm not going to put those things on because I don't think they look good. All right, so we need K here. K, 9, 10. Harold says, I finished up Lost Speedways on Peacock over the weekend. Very good if you're a race fan, especially the history of it. Oh, nice. I'm not really a race fan, but that is good to hear. I appreciate that. Thank you, Harold. I also don't have Peacock. I, I probably should get Peacock because Amber Ruffin, you may know Amber from Amber Says What, or Jokes Seth Can't Tell, or various other things that Amber Ruffin does on Seth Meyers. Amber is, I'll say this, y'all maybe know her as a comedian. What a lovely person. Amber is just so great. I've had just nothing but wonderful interactions with her. But she's got a Peacock show coming out, and I want to support it because she's rad as hell. And I'm like, she's got some stuff going on. Oops. Aristovan did some online trainings today, then pivoted to stream watching, video gaming, and now I'm building Lego. Hell yeah, Aristophan. You are under no obligation to do so, but if you want to post a photo of the Lego of your builds in the Discord, you're more than welcome to throw some art in and let us know, some photos. Let us know how that's going. Of course, you don't have to. It's optional, obviously. If you have Xfinity cable or internet, you can get paid Peacock for no cost. Well, I do not, so thank you. Appreciate that. Letting me know, though. We have Spectrum here, which I do not like. I am not a fan of Spectrum. So why is this not fitting in? Are these the wrong ones? It's always a possibility. No. Yes. One of these is... How is one of these wrong? Did I not put one of them on the other one? One of these is wrong, and I don't know how that happens. Okay, so that's right. How is there an extra one of these? Did I not put one of these on? I don't know, there's an extra one of these. That's weird. Maybe I didn't put it on the other side of this. I did. Okay, that's odd. Alright, that sheet's done. So we'll put this aside. But yeah, I don't have that cable provider, so I do not have access to Peacock. But I probably should get it. At least check it out, see what's up, see what's on there. See if there's anything worth watching so I can let y'all know about that. I said you all instead of y'all. That was wrong. Alright, so we got to put J13. Obviously, this leg is moving a little faster because I did the other one, so that usually happens here where this kind of comes together a little faster. So we need J13 on there, and then we also need J18. We'll get that on there. J18 is this one here. Heck yeah, we're doing it. But yeah, thanks everyone for letting me know what you're up to, what you're into. When I talk about at the 10 o'clock hour, I'll talk about the anime stuff I watched. I will include a kind of like mini remembrance review of a rewatch show because I was rewatching something that I haven't seen in a while. Mainly because I was looking for something to kind of marathon through yesterday and today. Less of my usual internet stuff. Some people decided to take Memorial Day off, which is fine. Spectrum sends me an email bills for $0 every month despite not having service with them for at least 7 years. I'd like it. I'd stop it, but it's funny. Yeah, Verizon sent me a $0 FiOS bill because they were like, hey, you don't owe anything to FiOS this month. And I was like, yeah, I know. I closed my account. And they're like, yeah, you don't owe us any money. It's like, okay. Thanks for the reminder, I guess. Okay. Like, yeah, you don't need to send us, it's like, oh, you don't owe us any money, we're good. It's like, yeah. But yeah, Ninja Collection, the show that's only like 5 minutes or 4 minutes or whatever that I've been watching, that usually comes out on Sunday, no new episode out. I don't know why. It is not a well-known enough show for any website to like any news site like Anime News to like say like why there's a delay or even reference that it exists because it's just not a popular enough thing. So I've just assumed that it was COVID related or something, but they delayed it for a week or there was something going on in the time slot it ran. But yeah, I think it's supposed to be 12 episodes, and this would have been episode 9. So I was like, well, maybe it's only 8 episodes. I don't know. Harold, have a great night. Thanks for stopping in. I will talk to you soon. At least they don't bill you for the cost of the bill, says Lord Grouchton. Yeah. Yeah, they don't send you a processing fee. Hey, we mailed you a thing. This is you got to pay for that. It's like, no, we're good. But yeah, have a great night, Harold. Thanks for stopping by on a Monday. Hope to see you for some Twitch Sings on Wednesday. Reminder, that is my Twitch Sing stream will be on Wednesday, closing time as we count down the months to Twitch Sings going offline, which is a shame, but yeah, it's a fun thing. So I'll sing some songs. They released like all of the stuff they were going to be pumping out that they had made deals about, so that all of it is available. I still have to go through tomorrow, and I'm going to record some stuff for duets, and yeah, that'll be fun to like. Basically, I'm going to like completely empty my favorites and just put in all new songs, and then people can vote on the songs they want me to do. Putting this foot onto the leg is actually really annoying. I don't know. This is a weird part of the real grade, is because this has to go in here and line up, just perfect. But yeah, I won't have a lot of anime to talk about in the second hour because I watched only 2 things. But I'll talk about one show that I rewatched based on, or was rewatching it today, based on a conversation I had with a friend of mine, my friend Jacob, who was talking about making ramen based on an anime about ramen noodles. And so we were talking about other food anime. And he was like, yes, I watched that one. I also, it was good. Somebody else who's been watching Food Wars who was just like, hey, Food Wars is a bummer now. And it was like, yeah, it fucking is. It's a bad season. They're basically, this last story should be a 24, 26 episode, and they're doing it in 13. And that's the thing. That took me a little while to actually understand that, like, oh, the pacing of this is terrible. That's actually one of the reasons why I'm not liking this show right now, is the pacing is just awful. It took me a while to figure that out. But yeah, they're focusing on their plot so much that they are like abandoned stuff about the food, which is like it's food wars. You want to like know what's going on with the dishes. It's weird. But yeah, we were talking about that, so we started talking about other food anime, which got me thinking about rewatching a show that I liked, and I watched most of it like today, just kind of hang out. Because I said, some people that I watched didn't put videos out today. Um, and like, yeah, that's fine. I get it. If you are an American company or you're an American group and you just were like, I think we'll just have Labor Day and not post any videos on Labor Day. It's like, okay, yeah, do it up. Enjoy. That's cool. All right, so this goes like that. And then it's going to go, that piece that I cut out that was wrong actually goes on here. All right, figured that out. And that goes. This is a real grade, so there are lots of tiny pieces. That's kind of the thing with a real grade. I think it ends up, you end up with a really detailed, I should say, kit. Whereas, obviously, like, high grades are what you want. Whether they're like 20 to 30 bucks, like, you don't always get every, the detail that you wish. Sometimes they'll use stickers instead of that, or these piece is a solid piece and you wish that it had a little more detail to it, but it's just a big solid block of plastic, and you wish there was just a little more. It's like, yeah, but you can't really get that for a high grade price. So this is a different one, Bobby. I should include this there. I mentioned it in the Twitter thing. I didn't mention it here in the description. So this is made famous, I believe, in the MSV, which is the Mobile Suit variant, which was a lot of like magazine and like it was stuff that wasn't in the original Mobile Suit Gundam. And it became like bonus material, and then it's found its way into other things. So this is Johnny Raiden's Zaku 2. Johnny Raiden was originally had like a nickname about like the color red, but then that was changed because they wanted to kind of the name red, the red comet, to be about Char. So he's like the cosmic something or other. But he's a pretty cool character, and this was his Zaku too. So this is not Char's, but it is a red Zaku. So I know that can be. It's like what? What do you mean? But yeah, Char was the only person to have a cool red Zaku. This is the real grade for it, which came out in 2017. So it's pretty modern, even for real grades, which is great because it means that it is not bullshit. Because some of the very first couple real grades, they hadn't really figured out how to do exactly what they wanted to do with this line quite right, but they definitely found their footing as they went. And I think that these real grades are solid. And then it'll be a while before we get more. They're really doing a lot of right now. They're doing master grades of stuff like re-released with upgrades. So new versions of old master grades is a big thing right now. And the other big thing out there is doing. Let's see. So we need J16. The other real big one is to just do high grades of build fighters and build divers. That is the big. Those are the big pieces out there. Those are the big ones. You're gonna find lots of high grades of that. And then they're just going through some of the master grades they hadn't released. Oh, we got a nice little uptick in viewers tonight on a Monday. That's always nice. Sometimes Monday's a little quiet. Welcome to everybody. I'll say this. If you're new to the stream, if you came in because you were searching for Gunpla, or because somebody recommended the channel, or you heard the stream mentioned on a podcast or something. If you have any questions about model kits in general or specifics, feel free to ask those. I always try to help out and answer questions if I can. And also, my chat is also knowledgeable, so sometimes they have an answer I don't. The Zaku is like my favorite mecha general. Bobby, you have great taste. The Zaku is fantastic. I mean, Charge is always great. Specifically, yeah, one of the things you can see in the photo, I pointed at my monitor instead of pointing like there. No shield on this Zaku. Big weapons, no shield. It sounds pretty cool. I've only really seen the original Mobile Suit Gundam, 8th MS Team, and Wing, so it didn't seem familiar, but it's been a while. Yeah, so MSV is a weird world of it's like they took concept art and then they were like, let's just blow this out. The cool, but they blow up good too. Hell yeah, they do. Speaking of Zaku's, did y'all see the Hello Kitty Zaku they announced? Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess it makes sense if you're gonna do, you're gonna keep making them. I guess you would. I just hope someday I get my Batsmaru Death Scythe, which is not a real thing. It's just a thing that I made up in my head, and I said out loud to try to make it real. Because if you're gonna do a bunch of Hello Kitty stuff, why wouldn't you do Hello Kitty's bat friend, Batsmaru? I mean, I would build a Batsmaru Death Scythe. I mean, I will build a Death Scythe, period. Y'all know me. We build Death Scythes on this channel. That is a thing that happens here. But I would be proud to build a Batsmaru Death Scythe. I'd be thrilled. Beyond belief. So M16. There's M17. 15. There it is. Right over here. Yeah, the Zakus are great. But yeah, Mobile Suit Variant is like basically concept art for stuff they didn't get around to doing or didn't do exactly the way somebody had wanted to do in the old series. And so it was a lot of concept art and stuff in mangas and magazines, and then it just kind of became its own thing. There's a lot of lore to it. It's pretty ridiculous in a way that I really enjoy. Okay, so we need F6 here. F26 is this one, so we're just going to remove one of these. And again, I'm just going to do these with my fingers because it doesn't really need it. Maybe I would file these down if this wasn't just for me. If this was going to go on display, I might file off some of the things, the nubbins, but for our purposes, that's totally okay. And then we need all 6 of F5. And then 1 of F6. But we'll just get all these out. I'm just rolling them between my fingers here to get them out. And then I'm going to lay them on the instruction booklet so they don't go anywhere, hopefully. And then we'll get 6 in there. But yeah, welcome everybody to the Build with Baer. Happy to have you here. We are going to take a pause for the cause in a moment or two. I'll talk about ways you can support the channel if that's your interest or inclination. You're under no obligation to do so, but we always do that. Instead of talking constantly, and taking lots of breaks, I take one break, talk about ways you can support the channel, and we go. Never take any and never roll ads. I do at the beginning of the stream, and mostly I roll ads at the beginning of the stream so that people that are coming in don't have to watch pre-roll ads if they're not a subscriber for the first 20 minutes, which is a nice little thing. But I just do that, and then. But honestly, doing that means that people don't get to. Doing that. Not a lot of people watch those because it's the very beginning of the night. I certainly would do better later in the evening in the stream if I did ads then. But that's not what I'm doing the ads for. No matter what, it would not be a lot of money. So it's okay. Okay. So now we got to put this here. We are going to attach this and stretch it out a bit. And stretch it out and press down. Oop, that messed up. And again, the goal is to get this connected so that it doesn't separate as we apply it. But also not have all these beads, these little plastic beads here, spill out as we do it. Okay, I think that'll be good. Alright, and then we'll just attach one of these to here. This is a lot better than having just a long piece of wire that we have to measure and cut, which is how this works in some instances. Okay, that is not connecting properly. Why aren't you? Hmm. All right, well, we'll attach the top part here and then figure out why this isn't going in right. Put it there, and then see why this is. There we go. Okay. Heck yeah. And then it'll bend. Oop, that'll pop out. Which one? There. There we go. That's good. All right, another leg done. We did 2 legs today. We finished one leg and fully did the other. That's rad. Very cool. Good job, us. Leg crew. All right, let's figure out what the next thing is, and then we can start working on that. Ooh, I bet this is going to be top heavy because this is pretty loose. We'll see. All right, now we're going to work on the waist. That's right, working from the bottom up. So let's build the waist here. A and B parts will be used later. The waist is B5. Oh, so this is weird. Our first step of our waist is take this part out, separate the 2 components. Don't worry about it for a minute. That's a weird thing. So we're going to take this here. Separate that. Okay. And then they want me to Ah. So yeah, separate these parts. And separate them. And then I'm like, okay, I will. They want me to separate them. I'm going to do that. Because we're going to put some parts on this. And then we'll get to the other side. All right. Well, why don't we take a pause for the cause, and then we'll get back to building. Hello, everybody. Welcome. This is the Build with Baer workshop. If you're first and foremost, if you're a subscriber, feel free to throw the Baer Cave, the Lego, the site, the mode in the chat. Let the people know the benefit of becoming a subscriber. If you're new to the channel, this is the pause for the cause. This is a brief little couple minutes where I'm just going to talk about ways you can support the channel. And I'll also link a couple videos that I think are cool. If you're watching this later on YouTube, all the links I'm about to provide are in the show description. But yeah, becoming a subscriber is a great way to support the channel. All the stuff I'm going to talk about here are all things you can do. You're under no obligation to do any of this. Honestly, you being here is more than enough. It's fantastic. I'm so happy. If you want to chat, feel free to chat, ask questions. If you don't want to chat and you just want to watch, great. Enjoy that. I love it. I'm always happy to help, and hopefully I can answer some questions from folks where applicable. So feel free to let me know if there's anything I can do as soon as these, or ask questions after the stream. But yeah, becoming a subscriber is a huge way to help with the channel. You can get your Prime Gaming token, which you can use. It's free for you. If you have Amazon Prime, you link it to your Twitch, you get this token. Use that. Cash Money. It's September, so if you're a brand new subscriber using Cash Money, you can subscribe for 1 month, 3 or 6 months. If you've been watching for a while and you never subscribed, now's a great time to do it. Eric subscribed earlier and saved some money because he's a new subscriber, because it's September, brought to you by a bank of some sort. I cannot remember which one. That does not work for gift subs, but you could join Bobby and Silver and the gift sub leaderboard. Bits and coins also always appreciated. Jam and Gary and Harold are top of my leaderboard for that. Thank you all so much for your support. If you're saying to yourself, Pat, I want to support you, but I'm not interested in joining Twitch. I like just have my accounts free. I don't pay anybody on Twitch. Okay, well, I have a Patreon. And there's $1, $3, $5, and $10 tiers. So if you want to do less than the $5 you've done for Twitch, you could join my Patreon for $1. Patreon, for $1, you get a Q&A video a month that is exclusive to Patreon. You also get a Any post where I'm like, here's my schedule. Like I'm going to put a new schedule post up tomorrow. Like here's when I'm streaming. Here are special events that are happening. Like I send those messages out on Patreon. It's a great way to keep up with what's going on with me. That's an option. You could do that. Feel free if that's something you want to do. Also, one-time donations, you could do that. That's I have a Streamlabs and a PayPal and a Coffee, and you could join one of those and do a one-time donation. And anything I make through Twitch, Patreon, those direct donations, I buy model kits with that money. This kit was bought off my Amazon wish list. Thank you so much for that, Aristophan. But also sometimes I will just I buy kits all the time for myself to build from money that comes from Patreon and Twitch and direct donations. I have an Amazon wish list, as I mentioned. This kit that we're building right now came from that wish list. There's some inexpensive Lego sets on there. There are some inexpensive high grade kits. There's some expensive master grade kits. There are kits that should have Amazon shipping, but right now don't. So definitely wait on that. The real grade unicorn is at $40. That is a good deal for that. Unicorns, as you may know, very detailed. The Zaku cannon is still expensive. That's probably not right. The Kyrios Master Grade is down to $50. That is a great deal for that kit because it's pretty new and it was like 60 at one point. Yeah, but I got a bunch of stuff in there and then also some equipment. There's an alternative to that. If you're like, Pat, I would buy you something, but not from Amazon. You can buy a gift card at USA Gundam Store. You go there, you buy a gift card, you get a code in your email, which is the gift card code, because they don't send you a physical one, they just send you an email. And then you whisper me here on Twitch, or you DM me on Twitter and go, hey, Pat, here you go. Hey, here's a code. And then I'll buy something. And it might be something that in stock there, or it might be a pre-order, which I did recently. That's another way to support me if you want to. We're going to get back to building in just a minute, but I just want to quickly say I have a Discord. Hey, join my Discord. I post my build photos after every stream. I take a photo of my progress at the end of every stream or when I finish a kit. I post that in the Discord. Other people post things they're working on. Maybe promote yourself. If you do things that you think that my audience would like, who's on Patreon. Or not Patreon, who's on Discord. You could do that. A couple of video links I'm going to send out. Every other Monday, I do Pat Baer's Anime Club. Last Monday's episode was asking the question, should you watch G Gundam? It was a video essay trying to answer that question, talking about the good, the bad, and the good bad about G Gundam, so you can make an informed decision if you would like to watch that show. I'm going to be doing more of those should yous in the future because I think it's a kind of a fun idea. My next one is the archive of the Pat Baer's Anime Club that's part of PAX Online this Sunday, and then on Monday it'll be on my YouTube. And then the one after that will be the wrap-up for this season as we get ready for September and new anime coming in September. We will do the end of summer wrap-up / fall preview, which will be a live stream. That'll be a Wednesday live stream that then will be an archive. I'm going to do that because I had a really good time doing that as a bonus stream, doing a live Pat Baer's Anime Club in front of an audience of Twitch and answering questions and hearing what people are watching and liking. So that's definitely going to be a thing that we do this coming month because it's really fun to like go through and talk about the shows. So that'll be in the future. And then Baering the List is a thing. I did one on Lego pieces. Every Wednesday I put out a new one. Check that out if you missed it. That's just a fun little series that I do. Okay, I'm going to drink a little water because water is great. And then we're going to talk about the anime I watched. And I'm going to keep working on this. So let me get a little water in here as we go to the Zaku 2. Hell yeah. All right. Okay, so we're going to keep working on the waste unit, and I'm going to talk about anime. Thank you for putting up with the pause for the cause. I know it's a lot, especially if you're here a lot often or every stream or whatever. I know that is it could be a lot of things to to hear over and over again. Or maybe it was new to you and you're like, wow, you talked a lot there. All right, so I got to do this and then I got to do this. That's what I want to do. Great. Had to open it up another tab so that I can keep an eye on chat while I'm reading about what happened in my animes. And then I'm going to find some A pieces and a D piece. I think this is the first time we've... No, it's not the first time we've taken anything off of D. It might be, actually. Let me see. Yeah, this is the first time we've gotten into D. So we'll get into that in the waist here. Working on our Zaku 2 waist. Hey, this was a fucking sad episode of One Piece. Now, remember how I was talking about, maybe remember a couple weeks ago, I was talking about how this show was picking up the pace? Well, it fucking slowed the pace down, but it's a good reason why it slowed the pace down, because things are fucking sad. You know, you didn't have to be a real genius to realize they were to kill this old man, this weird old man who turned out to be an awesome old man who was like an awesome young guy. Um, but yeah, Yasu, the old man who smiles all the time and acts weird. He helps out Ebisu Town, and he always has a smile on his face, and that seems weird. Why does he always have a smile on his face? We'll find out. You probably guess he's got a smile on his face. Maybe it has something to do with the artificial devil fruits called the smile things. Like that. It's like maybe that has something to do with it. Spoiler alert, it does. Um, Yashu takes blame for the flyer and calls it a prank, the flyer that was calling for the revolution. So he's trying to deflect from that and also plant doubt because he was like, Orochi, you thought this was real? Come on. Which I don't know if that's going to help at all, but it was noble of him to try. Anyway, Orochi arrives and shoots Yashu. There's a whole thing of like a lot of different characters kind of remembering how cool he was. Folks that came from the past are remembering how he was awesome. This might get a dude who's been they've been trying to get to help but didn't want to. We'll probably get him to help out with the cause. They're some of the retainers of Odin. There's a flashback of Yashu scolding them because they were a wild bunch, and him basically being like, you need to get like educated, and you need to like learn honor because you are the vassals of the next shogun of this country. So, if you love him, if you owe, then you gotta like be better dudes and ladies. Let's see, what else came from that? Oh, yeah, the Ebisu townspeople. Yeah, so Toko unfortunately arrives just as Yashu is shot. A lot. That's his daughter. She's the creepy girl that smiles all the time, and she's just creepy because of that. And then Zoro is rightfully, like, freaked the fuck out about why all these characters are smiling and laughing as they're crying. Like, hey, this dude just died. Why are you all acting like this? What's your fucking problem? And then he is told they are forced to smile. They can't help but smile because they have been, they were experimented on or given the cast off of stuff they knew, that people knew weren't going to work out, which I think they should have, figured out sooner than now, but whatever. We'll see what the fuck happens. I'm expecting there to be some action. It looks like Big Mama, who is always a weird thing to say, who has has amnesia, is near Luffy to help with Luffy's escape. Although it really doesn't. It feels like Luffy could escape at any point at this time. Now he just wants to get stronger and work on his techniques, which I can appreciate. But yeah, it was a fucking sad episode. They really slowed it down, and I think that's poignant for this like cool old man to kind of give him his flowers, show him some respect. But yeah, hopefully, I mean, say hopefully this young weird girl can grieve properly. Although it looks like she's about to get attacked, which fucking sucks, but. should also be expected. Looks like she's going to get attacked, so maybe we'll get to see Zoro kick some ass. That'd be nice. Some other people in the town. Zoro and Sanji doing some stuff. That is certainly hinted. My hope is that. One thing that happens a lot in One Piece is the previews for the next episode show you the thing that happens that doesn't actually happen in the episode, but is about to happen at the end of the episode. So the big thing for this one wasn't necessarily Ayashu's death. It was Zoro learning about the townspeople and reacting. That happened at the very end of the episode, but that's what last episode's preview of this episode was. So they're previewing of Zoro and Sanji like protecting Toko, but that may actually end up being exactly what happens at the very end of the episode. So that would be a little frustrating if that was what's going down. Okay, separate that, separate that. All right, we're going to still keep working on our waist here, and I'm going to tell you about the God of High School. A lot of shit happened in this episode. We have an Ipio flashback. Ipio, he is the guy that is definitely stronger, but he learned a lot about martial arts from Mori's grandfather, and keeps talking about the promise he made to Mori's grandfather. He said he would make he would say he would do a thing. We're not really sure what that promise is, but let's see, 8, 24, great. Jegal, who we saw, is definitely a dude that like is gonna be a rough person to beat, who may or may not be associated with Nox. He broke Ilpio's cousin's leg, ending her martial arts career, and that's why he's fighting in the tournament. Is his wish at the end would be to get surgeries or whatever miracles they need for the cousin, so that she can get her leg all healed up. Our team, Mori's team, learn about Nox, and basically they're gonna get stronger, and basically the dude is like, hey, if you win the tournament, I will tell you what I know about where your grandfather might be if I know anything or help you out. So Maury's like, well, then we're going to win because that's a great reason to go in there. So they fight. Here's the thing about God of High School. The fighting fucking looks awesome. If you haven't seen the show, the fighting is the reason to see it. I think the story is weird and it has become more predictable and a little more trite than I would like. I wish that it was a little bit more unique or unusual. It is not, but the fighting looks fucking awesome, and the fights tonight particularly. There's this music playing that as they jump back and forth between two stories, two different sets of action. The music is playing like, even though you don't hear it in one, it's playing for both, and it like really does set the stage and is really fucking cool. I really do recommend it. I think it's a great show. So Dawi is up first, and he gets his head rattled, so he can't really do stuff, but he overcomes. And we're starting to see, because he said something about secret training, we know that he's trying to learn techniques, and he doesn't call out what they are, but he does. He does some special abilities, but he doesn't name them or like talk about anything. So we're still in the dark about what his new found powers are. They look kind of water based, which would make sense, a little bit of sense, because he does call the names of the moves that he created. They're tortoise related. So if he has like a water god helping him out, that kind of works. Let's see. Nox makes its move in the tournament, and they summon that big sword that we saw before, but they also summon some sort of big creature to push the sword down. So that's fucking weird. And that's new. Basically, Ilpio is confident and he faces Mori, and it seems like he's right. He's like telling him his weaknesses, and he's like, "Hey, well, you do this, and this doesn't actually help you, and this is the thing that you're doing." And he seems like he's right, but he's also kind of coaching him, and even gets called out as like it seems like he's like trying to make him stronger. Well, turns out the one of the wishes, the wish that he is, or the promise he made, I should say, was that he promised years ago to Maury's grandfather, hey, if you ever come across my son, show him a couple things. So I guess that's him trying to honor that and trying to get Maury to be stronger, which was probably a mistake. Maybe we'll find out. Um, anyway, Maury starts using his friend's techniques because he's observed them and he's integrating them, which is pretty cool. Um, and then also the tournaments. Staff starts to compete against Nox. They're counterattacked. There is a pretty cool dude named So, and he uses a lot of weapons, and he's powered by a bunch of his subordinates are playing live music, and the music you can also like choreographs the or undercuts the fight that's happening, which is like a very cool technique and really neat. Um, and the music is also awesome, so that's cool. Uh, but he uses a bunch of stuff, and they destroy the sword, which people were surprised about. Um, and then Jin unlocks some sort of new ability in the fight. Mori, aka Mori, he has a new attack. And but then Ilpo either he gets possessed by some sort of new power or unlocks a new power, and it looks like one of those like fox spirits, like a nine-tailed fox kind of thing, or you know, um, it's a white fox thing. And the leader Nox claims that he is the key that they have been searching for. That maybe this is the god power they're looking for. But one would have to assume that our next fight is going to be, him battling that, like this new thing. But we've got to assume that our boy is going to win. I mean, we don't have to assume that, but we should assume that because he's the main character. So you'd think he would win this tournament. But who knows? Maybe he won't win. I don't know. Anyway, it's fucking rad. The show's good. You should check it out if you haven't seen it yet. If you're looking for an action series with some comedy and a lot of heart, and it is a neat show that I would recommend if you're looking for something cool. God of High School. Also, the opening theme is the best theme anybody's got this season, so that's another good reason to check that out. And then I said that I would watch something I've been rewatching, so I'll talk a little about Restaurant to Another World. Hey, do you need a comfort show to marathon? You want 12 episodes of awesome food and people from another parallel world that's kind of like a fantasy world discovering how awesome food is and the cool Western style restaurant? Basically, there's this mythical time and place world, and characters are hanging out there and doing their thing, and then some of them, there are doors that just open up on a Saturday when the restaurant is closed to other people, and they can just go through this door that appears like randomly. Sometimes the door appears inside a like a house. Other times it appears just in a field. And yeah, and then there's all these different creatures that come through, including like a couple fucking dragons that are that take human form, that are ancient mythical creatures. There's some elves and some half elves that come through to see what's up. There are adventurers and gnomes, and like they're just like hanging out, checking out the cool food, having a good time, and then they some of them interact with one another. There's a cute demon girl who ends up working there, and then later another girl who is some sort of ancient dragon thing, and it's mostly about how awesome food is, and them discovering how great food is, and just like having a great time. Sometimes it's touching, sometimes it's like really fun and weird. Uh, it is just cute and really good, and I recommend Restaurant to Another World if you want a uh, a slice of life kind of food thing with a bunch of fantasy. If you're like, the part about isekai that I like is the whole like going to another world, but not the whole like overpowered main character harem thing. Then maybe this show will be up your alley. I think it's really rad. All right, so let's get that done here. And that's my anime talk. Well, thank you for coming to my TED talk about anime uh, and the shows I'm watching. But yeah, I've been trying to find like some stuff to just kind of like I don't know like rewatch. I go through my rewatches. I rewatched pretty recently all of Room Camp, which is short, which is the spin-off like short series for Laid Back Camp because that was fun to check out. A couple shows got postponed. In anime, they announced the I forget the name of it, but it's the one about the boy and the wolf, and there things are. It's not really a wolf. There's other stuff going on there. That show got delayed, which is all right because that was probably going to be a show that I didn't end up watching every week because there's a lot coming out this season that I'm going to be checking out. I'm going to try to watch all of it, but there's just a lot of anime coming out. Uh, Let me ask y'all, what are your like? Is anybody like going back to anything? We talked about that earlier, way earlier. Um, One of y'all is going back to Steven Universe, which is fun. But yeah, does anybody have anything that they're like, well, I've got my comfort show, be it TV shows or movies or anime. That you're like, this is the thing I'm going back to because, I mean, what the fuck? Let me know. I've also been rewatching slowly. I'm trying not to do like back-to-back episodes of it. Um, uh, Road Quest, which is Loading Ready Run, did a like driving through Canada comedic kind of road trip story thing with a bunch of which was really fun. I have been slowly rewatching that because that is a very pleasant, fun series, and it's cool to check out. So that's been a good thing to kind of just catch up or just watch again. All right, let's get these side skirts on here. But yeah, if there's anything y'all have been going back to, going through your marathons, let me know. I like hearing about what you're watching. Why is this not working right? Okay. So this is this. Yeah. All right. Oops. As always, the skirts are sometimes my least favorite part because they sometimes just don't work right, or don't look right, or don't go on right. I started reading the DBZ manga here and there. Heck yeah. Uh, some good stuff back in the day. I spent a lot of time going through that, reading all of it. Um, good stuff there. Is that? Yeah, okay. That's awesome. I've been thinking about rewatching Kaleido Star. Okay, cool. Yeah, do it if you want to. Um, yeah, I really go through my like slice of lives and usually pick out a few to kind of return to now and again. That is often what I end up doing because they're if they're soothing and you like them, if they're your comfort anime or if you got comfort TV shows or comfort movies, like yeah, go back to those. Why the heck not? Live a little. If you like something, you just go and watch it again. You don't have to keep watching new stuff, trying new things. It's great to try new things, but it's also great to enjoy the things you enjoy. To not be like, oh, that wasn't that great. I wish I hadn't watched it. Like, Uh, I finally watched. Hey, oh yeah, hey, I don't know if I talked about this. I finished season 1 of Doom Patrol. Hey, Doom Patrol's fucking good. I didn't know Doom Patrol was good. I knew that like there was some weird shit in Doom Patrol. I remember going, Cyborg. Cyborg wasn't in Doom Patrol. That's weird. Wasn't wasn't Beast Boy in Doom Patrol? That's the Teen Titan that was in Doom Patrol for a while that didn't really belong. It joined it later. What's Cyborg doing in there? But yeah, that's fucking good. Um, that and Azumaka Daioh. Hell yeah, Lord Grashington. Oh, Daioh. It's been a long time since I did a Daioh rewatch. Ooh, I might have to do a Daioh rewatch because that's some good shit right there. Um, okay. I don't even know if that cap is going to be reused, but whatever. I saved that. All right, we finished our bottom here. Now we're going to move on to the top there. But yeah, Doom Troll. I recommend it. I haven't watched the second season. Cannot tell you about the second season. I can only tell you that the first season, I was pleasantly fucking surprised that is how good that is. Because I'm not usually much for the TV shows based on uh, the like properties, either DC or Marvel. Like I didn't really, what I should say. Uh, I didn't like Punisher. I liked most of Daredevil. I thought Luke Cage was like cool, but not great, but it was fucking cool. I did not watch Iron Fist, and I did not watch Jessica Jones, and I did not watch Defenders. Um, because I haven't watched. I've watched some of the Arrowverse shows. I watched some of Arrow, and I watched some of uh, the Flash series. Never watched Hero Legends of Tomorrow. Never watched Supergirl. Um, I've watched some of Luth. I forget the. Yeah, I mean, can't even remember the name of it. Um, yeah, I'm just like not super. I've never been super into these kind of things, so I just haven't checked them out. But Doom Patrol looked neat, so I checked it out and I liked it. Uh, I've never seen Gotham. Never seen an episode of Gotham. Couldn't tell you a thing about Gotham. I think the show that I've watched the most of any of those is uh, I watched uh, a lot of Smallville. There you go. I watched a whole lot of Smallville because I thought Smallville was pretty okay. That's probably the most of any DC or Marvel TV shows that I've watched. Like, I've never seen The Runaways. I hear mixed things about that, but never seen that. There's some other Umbrella Academy. Never seen. Don't know. Don't know. Don't know. I like some of the actors in that, but never seen it. Uh, remove. Okay. But yeah, Umbrella Academy is good, says Apache. Yeah, just never checked it out. Flash is the one DC CW show I watch. Yeah, I mean I liked Arrow because it was like I think Green Arrow is a cool character. I think he's been really fun in the books, especially uh, as the antithesis of Batman. Uh, even though he's also a rich dude, um, he's just doing it a different way, and I always appreciated that. But yeah, I just was never really into some stuff. I got really into the Arrowverse stuff for a bit. I just felt like I had to watch them all, and then that was too much. Well, yeah, Bobby, as they started going to Crisis, you had to watch all of them, which is a lot. Like, it's one thing to be like, if you watched Arrow and The Flash, right? But then they're like, hey, watch Legends of Tomorrow. And you're like, do I? I mean, yeah, some of the characters you set up in one show are in the other, but like, I don't know if I want to do that. You're like, do it. Also, have you been watching Smallville? And you're like, no. Well, you should be watching Smallville. And you're like, okay, well, I'll get caught up on Smallville. Is that all right? And you're like, yeah. Also, uh, remember that one thing that happened in this one episode of Arrow from years ago? And you're like, no. Oh shit, that's really important. You got to remember that. And you're like, I don't want to. Like, no, you were supposed to. Didn't you do the homework? And you're like, man, this is why I don't read comic books. Uh, each of them had one or two moments where I was like, nah, I'm good. Just like comics, yeah. The wild thing about CW stuff is when you watch one of the shows, they do crossover events across all of them. So you only get one part that's really weird. Yeah, Lord Creston, you're like, oh, they introduced the Monitor in another show, and if you weren't watching Flash, you don't know who the fuck the Monitor is, and they're not going to spend any time telling you anything about the Monitor. Or like, imagine you watch Arrow, and you've kind of paid attention to the Flash, and you're like, hey, I thought this character was dead from the Flash. And they're like, no, that's a different character from a different timeline. It's the same actor, but he's playing a different character. And you're like, isn't that confusing? And you're like, yes, it's very confusing. Don't worry about it. You're like, well, I want to worry about it. Who's this guy? And you're like, don't worry about it. Okay. But yeah, I always remember, like, so this was obviously years and years ago, right? 90s or so. Um, and a friend of mine was like, hey, Wildcats. You got to check out Wildcats. Like, it's completely new. You don't have to know anything about anything. There's no new there's all new characters. They're like alien things. Like, they got cool abilities. You're gonna get into it, right? And I was like, okay, I'll check this out. So I get the first like 5 issues, which are all, because I think the 5th issue had just come out. It's all like cool and neat and interesting and like a bunch of new characters, and you don't have to have outside knowledge and a big history. And it's like, okay, well, I identify really, I like this, and like, well, Grifter seems to be fucking the best. I am definitely the right age to just, think that this character fucking rules. So, okay, and I'm liking this, and I like that, and all right, there's this thing going. Okay, I'll check this out. Episode 6, once the first mini arc is done, it's done, and we're time to move on, right? And you're like, cool, now we'll see, like, it expand and whatever. The very second storyline is a crossover to a new comic they were starting called Cyber Force or something like that. I can't remember. It's Cyber something. It's a terrible 90s name. And they're like, this story continues in Cyber Force #1. And so they had just introduced this new comic book. They're getting people in. They're getting people that buy everything and like all this stuff. And they're getting maybe, like me, some new people that are like, oh, this seems cool. I want to check this out. And then they're like, hey, do you like this? Well, you got to buy another comic book. And then it was just like, oh, fuck you. I don't want to. Because I don't want to. I don't want to like have to see issue 13 of Incredible Spider-Man. I'm not reading Incredible Spider-Man. Like, I get it, but don't make me. Like, tell me who this character is in this story. Not like, don't demand that I do additional research and buy other comics just to keep reading this comic that I'm paying for. I paid you to buy this comic. Ugh. I want to be a purist and only read Deadpool. Yeah, there you go. But like, maybe you also have to read Agent X, or or Deadpool. Deadpool. He was in a Hulk comic. He fought the Hulk, and there was a minor character in that, and now that minor character is in Deadpool. Did you read that Hulk comic? Well, you got to go and find it because you don't know who this new villain is unless you do that. You can't, and it sucks. And that's kind of one of the reasons why thanks to modern, especially early to mid 90s comic books, he was in a bunch, yeah. But yeah, he's been in a bunch of stuff. But I'm saying, like, even if you were just reading the Deadpool solo issues, other things come in. Like they're like, oh, hey, Well, you know what happened in Bishop's comic, right? Deadpool showed up in Bishop's comic, and you're like, I didn't know that. Am I supposed to know that? And they're like, yeah, hey, you gotta fucking know that. And you're like, all right, I guess let me learn about this. You're like, yeah, learn all about it, damn it. And you're like, all right. Uh, but yeah, omnibuses. Yeah, I mean that's kind of a way to go. Um, it's just frustrating because like there are things I'm interested in, but I feel like I can't know about them. Like they don't want me to know about them, which just always felt weird. It's like, did you want me to like this? But it is the '90s stuff, early to mid '90s, is the reason why I got into manga was because manga is self-contained. The only times you're going to see stuff is like so. If you're reading Dragon Ball, there's some Dr. Slump crossover because Toriyama did that. But most people don't do that. You don't have to know the book Rave Master to read Fairy Tail. Now, if you did read Rave Master, then you know that Blue, one of the keys, a joke-ish character that's in Fairy Tail for a while and then kind of isn't anymore, was also in Rave Master. And it might not be the same Blue, it might be a different version of Blue. You get a little extra for that, right? That's your like bonus, but you don't have to read it. It's not like, hey, read this if you want to do that. It's just because the authors kind of like throw references in. Um, the only Deadpool I've read is Deadpool Kills the Marvel Universe series, and that was a lot of fun. Yeah, Deadpool Kills the Marvel Universe is an interesting thing. Deadpool in the zombie stuff was kind of fun, like in the Marvel Zombies. There's some good Deadpool out there. Uh, Deadpool marrying, like basically, Deadpool getting married was really fun. Uh, there are some cool Deadpool stories out there. Uh, but yeah, mentioning different versions, I heard most series of Gundam all have a Char or character based on Char. So yes and no. Look, uh, not all anime, but a lot of anime wants to have their main characters, their main villain characters, be cool because they want, they just want, they want their, they want to have some cool characters. So they're like, you can draw a line in Wing and be like, there's a Char in Wing. I mean, it's definite nod, right? That's a very blatant one. Other shows do have their kind of like villainous but maybe righteous guy who seems pretty dang cool, and you're like, I hope by the end of the show this guy turns over a new leaf and starts helping the heroes, and they just because he seems cool, or he's the villain, but he's got a just reason, and he's actually not with the villains. He's his own third, group. That does definitely happen. Because yeah, a lot of those series like there's no Char in G Gundam, right? Uh, Maybe you could argue that Schwartz is their dumb one, but really, and no spoilers with this, but that is a spoiler. Schwartz is just Racer X, really. He's really more of a nod to Racer X than he is to Char, um, it took me a long time to kind of realize that. I'm like, oh yeah, that's what they're doing with this character. They're kind of doing a Racer X vibe. That fucking rules. Um, but yeah, I mean, there are a lot of series that have their Chars. Um, because it makes sense, especially if the series has their own, like plucky young guy who is trying to, uh, who has natural talents that seem unnatural, in a way, and he's trying to protect somebody, generally a young lady, uh, or family of some sort, and trying to make that all work out. Yeah, it's very easy to have it be, those kind of stereotypes, and then build it out, and then yeah, then they run into a Char type. That's pretty common. Is there going to be more series of Origins? I don't know if they're going to do more. I haven't really paid attention to that. One thing about Gundam is I don't often like keep up with what's going on in the world of Gundam. I will admit, I'm often behind on the news of series and what they're doing. I kind of keep an eye on what kits are coming out, but not necessarily what shows are coming out. I mean, it's totally possible. A lot of that was for anniversary stuff, so I don't actually know if they're going to be moving forward with more Origins. But yeah, mostly it's been anniversary stuff, so it's totally possible. All right, so this goes here. This goes like this. Okay. Oh, that goes on top of that. Uh-huh. Did you see the news about Vince wanting to cut his wrestlers' side hustle? Yes, Lord Crashton, and we talked about that a little bit over the weekend. It'll be interesting to see. I know that a lot of it stems from Lana promoting a energy drink on Instagram, which that makes a lot of fucking sense, right? Um, to me, there's a big difference between having outside endorsements, using your name that you have in the company for outside endorsements. To me, is different than Cameo or Twitch. Particularly Twitch, where if you're just getting subscription money, yes, there are ads that run. You have no control of those ads, but that is not. It's not endorsements or product placements, which I think is a different thing than just you, yeah, talking about the thing that you're like, you're suddenly hawking an item. To me, that is a different thing. I don't know if it is to Vince, and nobody is quite sure what it's going to be. The real question is like, I could see them. I've heard. I've heard. Big E has said it on the New Day podcast. There was a period there where he wasn't mentioning Cameo anymore. He had been mentioning Cameo quite a bit, and suddenly he wasn't anymore. And the basically, the read between the lines, pretty blatant, was that they were being told, not to do it. But then he was promoting it again, and it was back, so nobody was quite sure. And it does run into there's a lot of questions about it, right? Like, what does being an independent contractor mean when it seems like they have a lot of control over what's going on and all that? And it's like, that seems to be like they kind of need to write that out a little bit more clearly, what it means to be an independent contractor and what they're expecting of people. I mean, I don't know. Uh, it would be interesting to see if anything happens. Like, so it ended up that like Paige has a Twitch channel and she's using her real name or her indie name, and not Paige. That seems to be, like, okay, well, I'll make that concession. But it's going to be interesting to see. Like, does this mean like, or Xavier Woods not going to be doing his other jobs? AJ, is that going to him? Is AJ Styles not going to stream anymore with the name he owns? That the WWE doesn't own? Is he going to stop? Is Kana-chan done on Twitch or not on Twitch on YouTube? Like, is Sheamus done with his YouTube channel? His Celtic Warrior workouts? Like, like who can just say like I'm not going to sweat it or whatever, or I'll wait to get to hear about it. But I could see a world where Big E doesn't do Cameo anymore. Because also, like while they're waiting around and waiting to they've trained or whatever, they worked out, they figured out their matches, they're just waiting for it, the shows to go live. Big E goes off to a room to record some cameos while he's at the Thunderdome. Xavier Woods would sometimes set up, on the road when they were just in an arena waiting to do stuff, or if they weren't up that day and they traveled there, he would do some up, down, down stuff. He would bring his gear and record stuff while he was there. I could see that being a thing that somewhere, I think I read somewhere that they now say they can use their real name. So yeah, so basically, nobody's quite sure what the hell they meant by like we own your names. I think really what they were saying was like you are still you. You have signed, like if you say your name is Xavier Woods, you can say your name is Austin Creed all you want, but the audience knows that you're Xavier Woods and you're still representing the company while you're doing it. Um, but yeah, also like Drew Gulak, that's his fucking name. His name is Drew Gulak. They didn't change his name when he got signed for 205 Live and now he's signed for SmackDown. His birth name is Drew Gulak. His indie name is his birth name. They don't own his name. They own his name in perpetuity for him making money as a wrestler. They own the wrestler Drew Gulak, but they don't own the name Drew Gulak. Uh, so it's like I don't know. I don't know what any of that is going to end up shaking out. It'll be interesting to see, but it's going to be interesting to see like if anything goes away or what goes away, or if anyone like suddenly is gone. But I would say if anything, cameo is going to be the thing that just disappears. Like people's cameos are just going to go away. I bet, because that is people saying their catchphrases and saying their names of whatever. Like the wrestling moves or making references or doing whatever. I could see WWE not wanting to have more control of that. I could see that being a thing, and then, but I bet Twitch and YouTube stays the same. I bet people still do that under their other aliases. And if that's not the case, I could see a couple of people, leaving when their contract is up. People that were thinking about retirement and thinking about being done. One of the reasons they continued is their side hustle. Because it's not like they can go and do autograph signings and anything like that. They can't, they're taking away some people who, or whatever. Especially like Austin Creed, who's on the injured list. It's like, well, then you're just paying him to not work. You're just like, hey, stay home. It's like, oh, that's good, but, who knows next time he gets injured, or if he shows up in as a program, or if they invest a lot of money in maybe they do invest a lot of money in Big E Langston. I don't know. It's all up in the air. But this will not probably lead to unionization. I assume it'll be a drastic thing to get the WWE performers to fight for the union. Yeah, I think that is unlikely. All right, that doesn't really want to stay on, so hopefully when we put the other part in there. But let's try to finish this arm up here, and then we will be ready to move on to our next step here. I don't know what part this was from, but all right. Okay, yeah, so we gotta move on with E1. But yeah, we'll try to get this last part of this done here. And then we will get ready. So a reminder, my next stream is my bonus stream. I'm going to be doing Twitch things this Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern. You got the Fast and Furious Charger Lego. Ooh. TXK, that sounds awesome. Hell yeah, enjoy that. I do like a cool car Lego set and the Fast and Furious set. That sounds neat. I have not seen that set, but that I bet that's awesome. So enjoy that. All right, so we'll do I-27. But yeah, this Wednesday, 9 p.m. Eastern, going back into Twitch things, they announced that they are slowly going to be, they're getting rid of that January 1st. They released a bunch of new tracks that they were to slowly be setting out. Instead, they just put them all out. So I am going to be singing some all new tunes, maybe an old standby here and there, but probably I'm going to try to just do all new songs. So come check that out on Wednesday. Of course, Jam just cheered 100 bits. Thank you so much, Jam. Appreciate that so much. I'm going to throw the old applause here. Lord Crashton says Playmobil has a Back to the Future DeLorean kit. Ooh. Oh, it's your first Lego set since you were a kid. Well, enjoy it. If it doesn't come with a brick separator, I recommend getting it. You'll see that in the recommended. If it doesn't come with one, the brick separator is the best thing that's ever happened to Lego. I wish it existed when I was a kid instead of the butter knife I used to separate pieces. But I highly recommend that if it doesn't have that, that is a thing. If you're only going to do this one Lego set, you get yourself a sponger from something or like a butter knife or whatever, and you do your thing. But if you are going to be building a few sets, I recommend it. Oh, Lord Crashton wants me to hit that gong, so let's hit that gong as we finish up the stream. I'm going to hit the gong here. Thank you for that, Lord Crashington. And a reminder, I'm playing this gong has nothing to do with the streamer's delay and his gong. I've had this for a while. I'm not copying him. It's just so weird to see that. I just saw that in the background and I was like, that's so strange. That is the thing that I have, like why is that of all things for us to have in common? Why is it that? This is very weird. Anyway, let's just finish off this arm and then we will move on to raiding. We're going to go raid somebody here. I have to figure out who we're going to raid. So let me hit that. Because we end every stream with a raid. I like to share the wealth a little bit. Find someone cool to go and see what they're up to. Hopefully it's somebody who's streaming for a while. And it's somebody who is cool as hell. But we'll go and find somebody to go check out. And spread the wealth and share the love. That is the goal. But yeah, I try to pick somebody on the West Coast who hopefully will stream for a while because that is nice. And hopefully they're streaming something neat. And is it necessary for me to raid somebody who has raids turned on so the notification comes up and they give us a shout out? That's not necessary, but it's fucking cool when that happens. It's nice for people to know that we're coming. I always like that, but that's not 100% necessary. But it is nice to see. All right, so who are we gonna go raid? We're gonna go raid. I think we just did that. So, we're gonna go raid Mr. Dave Lang. Dave Lang is playing Crusader Kings 3. So if you're interested in Crusader Kings and how Dave Lang would fucking play Crusader Kings, we're going to go hang out with Joseph Jabroni. We're going to go give Lang a raid, because that's exactly what I want to see. I want to see how Dave fucking hangs out in Crusader Kings. So we'll go give him a raid in just a second. So feel free to come along the raid. You don't have to, certainly. I will be back. I just opened it. Does not seem to have a separator. Well, I would recommend that. A separator is a great tool to have, so I would recommend that if you're going to be building a lot of Lego, because it is such a nice thing to have. They're so helpful. Thank you so much for hanging out, everyone, tonight. Again, singing on Wednesday, continuing this build on Thursday. We're going to go raid Dave Lang. Feel free to come along. If not, have a great night, and I'll see you in the next build with Baer. Goodbye, 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 goodbye.